going with Devin White, the Buccaneers linebacker.
You could go with both of them, actually. Both
Yeah,
the linebackers,
Levante
actually.
David or him. I'm going to go with him. So he was the 5th pick to the Buccaneers, which it was like a common pick, mocked, like them getting him because their defense was not the best. But this year alone, 52 tackles, 5 sacks as a middle linebacker is really good, and then a forced fumble. Watching him against the Packers, like all the jet sweeps and like gadget stuff they're trying to do with Irvin, and then also Jones just getting to the outside with pitches, like he would blow it up every time. He's so fast. Like the linemen weren't able to get to the second level on him because he would literally just outrun them. So I think he's really good.
Yeah. The one thing I'll say, go ahead.
I was just going to say, like, he just complements that defense so much. And there's concerns about, like, whether he would transition to the NFL because he was obviously a freak athletically, but people were worried about, like, his tackling. But, I mean, he's been a stud so far, so.
The one thing I will say about him is I don't think he's the best player in coverage yet, but he's so young and he has time to grow. And I definitely think he's a stud. I think both of them are studs. Like, I think Levante David, if we're talking underrated players, Levante David has had basically a Hall of Fame career that people don't even know that he's listed as a brilliant player. So my next underrated player, I'm going to stay true. I feel like this underrated thing is going to be something we're going to do a bit more throughout the season because there's so many players. So I'm going to stick with the 49ers and go with strong safety Jaquiski Tartt. To me, the only problem with Jaquiski Tartt is the fact that he doesn't play 16 games every year. He always seems to get unlucky and pick up some knick-knack type injury. But to me, I think he's one of the most underrated strong safeties in football. Like, he's not Jamal Adams, he's not Derwin James, but I think he's as good as anybody else. Like, just the tier under the superstar guys.
Yeah.
He's as good as anybody. He rarely makes mistakes in coverage. He can cover tight ends one-on-one. He's a phenomenal tackler, rarely misses tackles. He does everything at a very, very good level, and he's a really good player. I think he's been one of the better players for the Niners defense. He was one of the better players for the defense last year. And I do want to highlight a play that he made Monday night against Seattle that I think hasn't gotten enough credit. And that was the game that the Niners lost, their first loss of the season last year. He stripped DK Metcalf at the half-yard line. I think it's one of the better plays of the entire NFL season. DK Metcalf catches a screen, and he's being DK Metcalf and just freight training everybody. And Jaquiski Tartt literally snatches the ball. He rips that thing out of his hands, which is, to me, in and of itself is extremely impressive. Yeah, and that's why I think he's one of the most underrated players in football.
No, definitely especially on DK too. Like, I mean, coming out of college, like the dude was literally just like, he was just built. Like you could tell.
To take anything out of DK's hands is different.
Yeah.